Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Swastiastu, Nama Budaya, Salam Kebajikan. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Your Honorable Lecturer, Madam Mike Amelia SPD MPD, and all my beloved friends. First of all, let us thank to the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because of His blessing we are able to come here to join in this English Business meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation today is about management accounting. Well, before we show our presentation, let me introduce our team. The member of the group 5, the first, Kamila Lestari, second, Gina Sonia, third, Dwi Apriliani, 4, Zala Zalantika, 5, Diva Sakina Putri, and the last, Muhammad Bintang Adria. Now, I will read one by one management accounting. Sebab the first definition, 2, the second statement of cash flow, the third budget, 4, the future of accounting, and the last meeting process. Well, let's open our meeting by saying Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you. For the next agenda is presentation system. For the first round will be given by the first presenter, Muhammad Bintang Adria. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you for moderator who give me a chance to explain the material. The first material, defining management accounting. Management accounting is an accounting system related to the provision and use of accounting information to present the form of a report for a business unit for internal purpose, namely managers or management in an organization, and makes the basis for management to make business decisions in the form of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. Jadi, akuntansi manajemen pada intinya adalah suatu sistem akuntansi yang berkaitan dengan penyediaan dan penggunaan informasi akuntansi untuk menyajikan dalam bentuk laporan bagi suatu unit bisnis atau perusahaan. Then, cash flow. Definition of cash flow is statement breakdown that shows the amount of income and expense in a given period. Laporan arus kas yaitu rincian yang menunjukkan jumlah pendapatan dan pengeluaran dalam suatu periode. Next, purpose and benefits. The first is provide information about cash receipts and cash payments from an entity during a given period. The second can inform users to evaluate change in the company's net assets, financial structure, including liquidity and solvency. Penggunaan cash flow yang pertama yaitu memberikan informasi tentang penerimaan kas dan pembayaran kas dari suatu entitas selama periode tertentu. Yang kedua yaitu menginformasikan pengguna untuk mengevaluasi perubahan aset bersih perusahaan, struktur keuangan, termasuk likuiditas dan solvabilitas. Next, cash flow statement component. Cash flow statement component, the first is cash flow from operating activities. Usually, this transaction is in the form of income or company expense. Some example, cash flow from operating activities are transactions that include the receipt of money from consumers, debt payments, employee salaries, stock repayments, and so on. Second, cash flow from investment activities. This investment activity is related to the sales or purchase activities of the company's assets. For example, transactions that include the sale and purchase of fixed assets such as equipment and buildings. The last, is cash flow from funding activities. Generally, transactions that include the issuance or termination of equity and debt securities. Examples are bond sales, dividends payments, stock emission, and credit repayments from banks. Next, methods in calculating cash flow. First, free cash flow. Free cash flow equal net income plus depreciation or amortization minus change in working capital minus capital expenditure. Free cash flow example. Let's take a look at an example of that formula in the real world. Brandy is a freelance graphic designer. She needs to calculate her free cash flow to see if hiring a virtual assistant for 10 hours a month is financially feasible. Her financials for the year look like this. Net income equal $18,000. Depreciation or amortization $0. Change in working capital minus $10,000. Capital expenditure $2,500. Randy bought a new iMac last year. So Randy's free cash flow is represented by $18,000 plus $0 minus $10,000, then minus $2,500 equal $67,500. That means she has $67,500 in available cash to reinvest back into her business. Thank you. Next material will be presented by Diva.
Thank you, Muhammad Bintang Adria. Next, description. Net income. The total income left over after you've deducted your business expense from total revenue or sales. You'll find this on your income statement. Jadi, pendapatan bersih atau laba bersih adalah uang yang sebenarnya dimiliki, dalam artian uang yang dihitung dari perhitungan penjualan dikurangi harga pokok penjualan, penjualan biaya umum dan administrasi, biaya operasi, depresiasi, bunga, pajak, dan biaya lainnya. Next, depreciation or amortization. Many of your business assets lose value over time. Depreciation is the measurement of how that value decreases. Amortization, on the other hand, is a method of breaking down the initial cost of an asset over its lifetime. You'll find depreciation and amortization on your income statement. Jadi, amortisasi dan depresiasi itu sama-sama berhubungan dengan adanya perubahan nilai aset. Jadi, pengertian amortisasi adalah pengurangan atas suatu nilai aktiva tidak berwujud, sedangkan depresiasi adalah perubahan nilai pada aset berwujud. Next, working capital. Working capital is the difference between your assets and liabilities and represent the capital used in the day-to-day operation of your business. You can calculate your working capital using the total asset and liabilities on your balance sheet. Jadi, working capital adalah modal kerja bersih, yakni sebagian dari aset lancar yang real yang biasa digunakan untuk membiayai operasional perusahaan tanpa adanya gangguan likuiditasnya. Dikatakan real karena modal kerja tersebut itu dihitung dari mengurangi aset atau aktiva lancar dengan utang lancar. Next, capital expenditure. Capital expenditure include money on your business spent on fixed asset like land, real estate, or equipment. Jadi capital expenditure itu sejumlah biaya yang dikeluarkan perusahaan membeli, memelihara, serta memperbaharui aset fisik seperti properti, bangunan, atau peralatan. Next slide. Next, operating cash flow. Operating cash flow Operating cash flow equals operating income plus depreciation minus tax plus change in working capital. To apply the cash flow from operation formula to our previous example, Randy, our favorite freelance graphic designer. Let's say her financial for the year looks like this. Operating income $85,000, depreciation $0, tax $9,000, change in working capital minus $10,000. Randy's operating formula is represented by $85,000 plus $0 minus $9,000 plus minus $10,000 equals $66,000. That means in a capital $66,000 in positive cash flow from her typical operation activities. The next. Description operation income, also called earning before interest and tax, or IBIT, and profit, your operating income subtract operating expense like wage paid and cost of goods sold from total revenue. You can find operating income on your income statement. Jadi operating income adalah upah, depresiasi, dan harga pokok penjualan termasuk sewa, pemasaran, peralatan, penggajian, persediaan, dan barang-barang yang mungkin diperlukan menjalankan bisnis. Dan juga operating income itu pendapatan perusahaan sebelum pajak dan bunga. Next slide. Next, cash flow forecast. Cash flow forecast equals beginning cash plus project inflows minus project outflows equals ending cash. Getting back to our Randy example, let's say she has beginning cash $30,000, project inflow for the next 9 days $30,000, project outflow for 90 $4,000. Here's what her cash flow forecast look like. $30,000 plus $4,000. $30,000 plus $30,000 minus $4,000 equal $56,000. This means Randy forecast cash flow for the upcoming quarter is $56,000. Itu berarti perkiraan arus kas Randy untuk kuartal mendatang adalah $56,000.
Description. The first beginning cash is of course how much cash your business has on hand today, and you can pull that number right out here. Maksudnya ya itu uang awal adalah berapa banyak uang yang dimiliki bisnis Anda hari ini dan dapat menarik nomor itu langsung dari uang Anda. The second, the project inflow are the cash you expect to receive during the given time period. That includes current invoice that will come due and future invoice you expect to send and receive payment for. Jadi maksudnya kalau yang kedua ini arus masuk proyek adalah uang tunai yang Anda harapkan untuk diterima selama periode waktu tertentu. Itu tuh termasuk faktur saat ini yang saat jatuh tempo dan faktur masa depan yang Anda harapkan untuk dikirim dan menerima pembayaran. And the last, project outflow are the expense and other payment you will make in the given time frame. Maksudnya, arus keluar proyek adalah biaya dan pembayaran lain yang akan Anda lakukan dalam jangka waktu tertentu. Next. The next is budget. Definition budget. Budget is an estimate of income and expense over a certain period of time in the future and is usually complete and the revaluation on a regular basis. And the budget can be created for a person, a group of people, a business, a government, or anything that make and spend money. Maksudnya, anggaran adalah perkiraan pendapatan dan pengeluaran selama periode waktu tertentu di masa depan dan biasanya disusun dan dievaluasi kembali secara teratur. Anggaran ini juga dibuat untuk seseorang, terus kelompok orang bisnis, pemerintah, atau apapun yang membuat dan menghabiskan uang. Budgeting function. The budgeting process also involves making a report on the estimate money that will come in, expend income, and go out expenditure from the company at predetermined time frame. Budgeting is used to help companies see if they will be able to continue operation in the future. Nah, fungsi penganggaran ini, proses penganggaran juga melibatkan membuat laporan tentang perkiraan uang yang masuk atau pendapatan yang diharapkan dan keluar, yaitu pengeluaran yang diharapkan juga dari perusahaan pada kerangka waktu yang telah ditentukan. Penganggaran digunakan untuk membantu perusahaan melihat apakah mereka akan dapat terus beroperasi di masa depan. Next. Budgeting. Following are the specific budgeting function. The first, determine the initial capital. By determining the budget, we can know how much capital money will be used to run the business. Jadi pertama ini tentukan modal awal. Dengan menentukan budget, kita bisa mengetahui berapa banyak uang modal yang akan digunakan untuk menjalankan bisnis ini. The second, as the sales target. Budgeting can be a tool for comparing sales with expense. If the revenue target is not within the budget, then something must be adjusted so that the business can run effectively. Yang kedua ini sebagai target penjualan. Jadi penganggaran dapat menjadi alat untuk membandingkan penjualan dengan biaya. Jika target pendapatan tidak sesuai dengan anggaran, maka sesuatu harus disesuaikan agar bisnis dapat berjalan efektif. And the third, cut contra expense. Without budgeting, a company can spend more than they can afford. A budget helps reduce the risk of going bankrupt because spend is constrained. Yang ketiga ini membantu mengontrol pengeluaran. Jadi tanpa pengeluaran, perusahaan dapat menghabiskan lebih dari yang mereka mampu. Anggaran mengurangi risiko bangkrut karena pengeluaran dibatasi. And the last, support the strategic plan of business development. For more information, you can read about business plan proposals. Jadi yang keempat ini yang terakhir, mendukung rencana strategis pembangunan bisnis. Untuk informasi lebih lanjut, Anda dapat membaca tentang proposal rencana bisnis. Next turn is for the second speaker. Is the third speaker. For the speaker, Dwi, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Zelda. There are 4 stages in budgeting, including 1. Define budget guidelines. The first stage is to determine the budget guidelines. The guidelines must be based on the company's budget for the previous period by adjusting the activities of the next financial period or year. In this arrangement, it is known as top management. Top management is the basis in preparing the company's budget. 2. Budget preparation. After top management is complete, the company needs time to prepare a budget. At this stage, the preparation is not only done by the financial staff, but requires the cooperation of all divisions within the company so that the budgeting stage can run well. Before preparing a budget, the marketing manager first prepares an estimate of sales forecast. After that, the marketing manager cooperates with the general manager and financial manager to prepare a production budget factory cost budget, inventory budget, accounts payable budget, cash budget, balance budget, profit and loss budget, and so on. 3. Budget determination. The stage of determining the budget, the manager and the board of directors will ratify the budget. After that, conduct an assessment and also the feasibility of the budget draft that has been prepared by each budget user. 4. Budget execution. In the budget implementation stage, supervision from company managers is needed for each section. For the purpose of supervision, each manager must make a report on the realization of the budget. The realization of the budget is made after being analyzed, and then the budget realization report is submitted to the board of directors. The future of accounting. There are several things that future accountants must prepare, including get in the code. The first thing to do is get in the code. Perhaps the most important benefit of the code is access to available data and computing results anytime, anywhere. When you give your clients code-based access to real-time financial reports, they can make operational decisions based on up-to-date information from their accounting system. Understanding automation. Perhaps the major change facing the accounting profession is the arrival of computing power that can render data entry obsolete. Artificial intelligence is the technology that is leading the charge in this regard.
The future of accounting. Start considering cryptocurrency, regardless of whether you have decided to invest time in learning the details of Bitcoin. There is no denying that Bitcoin-based and decentralized cryptocurrencies will continue to play a major role in the financial market. The last, keep learning and communicating. This advice is evergreen but very relevant in a changing professional environment. As we have seen in the evolution of technology, it will not slow down, and we can no longer deny that future development will affect the profession. Next. Meeting phrases. How to meeting phrases. Saat memimpin rapat, penting bagi Anda untuk meminta semua orang memperkenalkan diri dan memberikan agenda rapat singkat. First, introduction yourself. You will want to start the meeting by welcoming your attendance and introduction yourself. You can start with a simple greeting using phrases such as good morning, good afternoon. I would like to welcome everyone. Since everyone is here, let's get started. I would like to thank everyone for coming today. After greeting them, introduce yourself. I'm your name. I will keep this meeting brief as I know you're all busy people. First, asking others to introduce themselves. Let's go around the table and introduce ourselves. Name, do you want to start? Let's introduce ourselves quickly. Please state your name, job title, and why you are here. Next. Setting the agenda. Likewise, it is important to start the meeting by outlining the agenda clearly and the key objectives of the meeting. Today, I would like to outline our plans. Plans for defining action point to be completed before the next meeting. When the meeting has finished, give an overview of the needs to be completed before the next meeting. Use the following phrases. Name. Can you have this action point finished by next week's meeting? Before the next meeting, I want action point completed so we can discuss the result. By the next meeting, we will have action in progress. Next. Getting involved in meetings. How to interrupt politely if you accidentally speak over someone or have something to add to what is being said. You can interrupt with the following phrases. Sorry, but just to clarify. Sorry, I didn't quite hear that. Can you say it again? That's an excellent point. Person name, what about doing? Action point as well. You can also use phrases such as, excuse me for interrupting. I have never thought about it the way before. How does it affect this point? That's all for me. The next material will be read by Kamini.
Oke, thank you Gina Sonia. Materi selanjutnya masih tentang meeting phrases. Ada tentang asking question. There are many different ways to ask question during the meeting. The following phrases are suitable when asking for someone to repeat what they have said. And for example, can you repeat that please? Atau juga kita dapat melakukan frasa yang lain seperti I don't fully understand what you mean. Could you explain it from a different angle? Next, could you explain to me how that is going to work? And the person leading the meeting or giving the presentation can also ask, are there any more comments? Or what do you think about the proposal? Dan selain asking question, kita juga harus melakukan presenting at the meeting. Next slide. Selanjutnya ada introducing your topic. The presentation should begin by introducing its purpose with phrases such as, for example, thank you for getting here on time. Today, we're here to discuss. And we're here to discuss the progress on blah, blah, blah. And for example, name of project and project. Kemudian ada concluding your presentation atau menyimpulkan suatu presentasi yang udah dibuat. The concluding phrases could be, before we end, let me just summarize the 3 main points. And other example, to summarize then, let me just run through what we've agreed here. And the last example, before we end, let me just summarize the 3 main points. Selanjutnya ada answering question. So, do you think this is the correct way you proceed? Or are there any objection to what I recovered? The next slide. Selanjutnya ada additional business meeting phrases. Aside from the typical benefits, clear communication is required to hold off an interruption, delegate tasks, confirm decision, apologize for being late, or excuse you early from a meeting. The following phrases will prove usable for such situation and will help ensure a productive meeting. When holding off an interruption, you can say, can we come back to that point later? Let me just finish what I was saying. Or can I just finish making my point? Next. Selanjutnya ada you can plan a future meeting by saying, I'd like to set up a meeting with you at your earliest convenience when you are free. I'd love to continue this conversation at the second meeting. When are you tax free? Or another example, we haven't covered everything we needed to. Shall we set up another meeting? When the meeting is on a tight schedule and the discussion is dragging on, you can use these phrases. I'm afraid that's outside the scope of this meeting. Why don't we return to the main agenda of today's meeting? And last, we've gone slightly off topic. Let us get back to. Thank you. I will return to moderator.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, finally we are come to the agenda. We would like to say thanks again for the presenter. And the conclusion of the presenter today is management accounting is one part of accounting science that focuses on the problem and the organization and the information made by the organization. Report from the accounting department within the company can help manager make wiser and more focused decisions. After the decision is taken, usually the accounting department will assess whether the decision is effective and efficient. To face this competitive competition, bank in Indonesia both quality human resource. Therefore, we need a management accounting in the banking industry, one of which is good corporate governance. The, the implementation of good corporate governance requires the role of accountant both as corporate accountant and as accounting and auditing practitioner, both internally and as external auditor. Management accounting based on business and professional ethics can provide advice in the accordance with the function of management accounting. And hopefully the presentation will give benefit for us. Thank you for attention. See you later.